Hey folks, welcome to Food for Action. It's good to be here again today. Uh, I'm at my I'm in my laboratory today, so it's good to be back in the lab as the mad scientist and coming to you live. Let me do a little sound scenario that we can change some things for recording purposes. There we go. Okay, so anyways, it's good to be here. As I do every week, I want to make sure that I acknowledge why we are here to begin with. So to do that, I want to make sure that I have these words right because I wrote them, but I have to make sure that that I represent them appropriately. So I should have been prepared with this, but no, because sometimes we just have to do things off the cuff, right? So, I guess the first thing is this: is that food for action. And by the way, I'm going to look back and forth. I have a monitor because of my headaches and so on. It's easier for me to look at the big computer, which is located to my left, your right. So sometimes it's easier for me to do things facing this monitor instead of you. It's not offense. I don't mean no offense or anything by it. I love you all, and I hope everybody's going to enjoy this. Hey, Amanda. So first, I want to make sure that I acknowledge this. This is our statement for me and hopefully those who join in on the conversation. This is food for action. Um, it is that I and we acknowledge and express the racial divide, racism, oppression, exploitation, systemic racism, violence against black women, black men, and black youth in the United States and all over the world. It continues. I and we will proactively help create a path to a true United State in America. That means that the state that we live in now, as we all know, if we watch news, if we step outside of our houses, we know that the state of America is pretty crazy right now. There's a lot of hateful things going on. There's a lot of hurtful things going on. There's a pandemic going on. There's a human pandemic, a humandemic, as I like to say, going on right now, and so we want to engage in the conversation uh, where so that we can all find uh, come to some at least knowledge of what we're all facing and what we're all going through. Uh, it's excuse me, it's a difficult world sometimes because we have to navigate through other people's experiences um, as well as our own if we intend on living in on the same planet together. We work together, we live together, and we're supposed to love together. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what God made us for. But it is difficult, uh, as we all know. I know growing up, it was difficult um, in many environments, um, and and so I'm sure that it is for each and every one of you. We're not going to get past this thing unless and until we all acknowledge that this thing exists. This thing called racism. It is existing. It is prevalent in this country and around the world. So, um, it hopefully this um, is being my tool to help um, everyone engage in trying to come to a common goal and understanding of where we are as a people in America and why there is such divisiveness and manipulation and evil, nasty, mean, hateful, horrible, everything being done um, um, from uh, from white folks to black folks. Again, as I said last week, and I'll say every week, I'll try to make sure that I re go over these things. That I understand that there are viewpoints of racism coming from black folks to white folks as well, from other nationalities to other nationalities, so on and so forth. We all understand that those things exist as well. But because we are living in a country which was quote unquote founded by um, by white Americans in what would typically or should be called a hostile takeover, because there were folks that lived amongst this land before they arrived. But again, because this country was founded that way, then um, unfortunately, uh, everybody who came to this land after, or subsequently, are held um, we are held at bay in many respects because of how those things were founded. Those of you who think that things are equal now, that those times have passed and everything's gone away, just look outside your doors and you will find out that that is not the case. But again, I am hoping that having um, this outlet will help me gain an inlet into others' lives, and that we can conversate together to um, to find out why we live the way we do, think the way we do, um, why there is hate, why there is love, why there is forgiveness, why there is no forgiveness, all of the things that people go through. We want to try to understand them so that we can um, prayerfully, by the time my children's children walk on this earth, there will be maybe a one unified earth of people under God, which is what it's supposed to be in the first place, because God says so. Now, um, I also, as you noticed, I did put something on Facebook today, and I put something on Facebook uh, couple. It's been a few times about a person who, I hope I don't say his name incorrectly, um, but I think it would be pronounced uh, Jesse Chastain. I'm just going to assume that because that's what regular reading shows me, is that that's what it would be. And as all of you know, or many of you know, if you're looking at this later on after we're done broadcasting, then um, if you look at some of the previous um, broadcasts, then you will know in live streams, and you will know that, and if you look at my Facebook page, you will know that every time I comment about anything dealing with race or racism, oops, we're having some problems. Hold on a second.